And how's everybody doing today? Yes, you are listening to another episode of Conversations. Yes, I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and I want to thank you for tuning in and being here. Very much appreciate you for tuning in. Love you for it. Thank you very much. So, trials and tribulations and everything that I've been learning lately. I'll tell you, it's been an experience. It's been an experience. Anyways, before I get into that, hey, how is your integrity doing? Are you doing the right thing when no one else is watching? Only you will know. How you holding up? Are you doing the right thing? Are you doing good? That's all I really want to know. I want to know, are you doing good? Because life's too short, and you know it's a domino effect, man. Just you really have to make an effort to do what you got to do in order to influence everybody else to keep doing the right thing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, let's get into this. I know you're thinking, what's the topic for today, Matt Morgan? And this is basically it. And I'll tell you, it's not necessarily new events, but more inspirational events. And what we're going to talk about today is Stranger in a Strange Land. I've been recently exposed to more people from other countries, and I'll tell you, man, the plights, the experience, the backstory for some of these people is just amazing. Absolutely amazing to hear what these people have done in order to get to where they are at, and the struggles and the determination and everything else is just so amazing to hear all this stuff, right? You hear about what everybody's gone through and what they've all struggled to get through in order to get to where they're at. It's inspirational. It really is. I have talked to people that have come from some of the remote places of the world and have just dug in their heels with a no die attitude in order to build a life here in Canada. And I'm inspired by these people. I'm just sitting there awestruck by these people that they've decided to do this. That this is what they decided to do. They basically told their families, "Hey, I'm going to go start a new life," and go, and they did, and they're building a life. They didn't come to Canada to exploit it. They came to Canada to build a life and a future for themselves. And I applaud people like that. I so applaud people like that. I think it's the most noblest thing and bravest thing I've ever come across. When I hear this kind of stuff, I'm like, wow, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could actually get up, pack my bags, and say, I'm off to going somewhere I don't even speak the language, don't know the customs, don't know any of that, and yet still got up and did it. You know? Like, that's just impressive. That's just freaking impressive. That people would just do that. Like, wow. Anyways, I've heard some stories. I've talked to this guy uh, that came from Nigeria, and some people already have their preconceptions when it comes to Nigeria. All right. But stylish, well spoken, well mannered, everything else, dedicated to do what he's got to do. And I'm sitting there going, dude, that's impressive. A crazy life story. You haven't even been back home and you're so young. And you hear other similar stories. You know, none of this malicious type attitude when it comes to things. It's basically, hey, I wanted a better life. This is what I decided to do. This is what I got up and did. And that's my story. And I'm like, really? Wow. Okay. That's impressive. That's impressive. You just decided, boom, you're gonna do that. I don't know. I don't know. I have to applaud people like that. Now I've been working hand in hand, and I think one thing that really annoys me is I've been working hand in hand with people that are new to Canada, and I think I'm kind of put aback by certain things that I've witnessed, which is kind of frustrating, right? I've noticed a very smooth operator kind of exploiting new people to Canada, and really, really, yes, giving them an opportunity, but at the same time, really working them like there's no tomorrow, right? So it's kind of like one of those double-edged swords, right? It's like they're working really hard. They offer opportunity to make good money, but they're working like dogs, you know, on a lottery chance of a win that they're going to have the right connections in order to make it all work out. This is what I'm saying. So I've been exposed to doing sales as a door knocker, so to speak. You know, kind of working on a commission basis. Um, and it's just, I look at that and I'm like, ugh. Like, I'll give you an example. I was working with their top sales guy for the last little bit. We knocked on 120 some odd doors and not one sale. Now, of course, you know, me being in the North American mentality, well, let's just say I already negotiated an actual paycheck out of the whole deal, right? I wasn't basically going to work for nothing. That's, you know, so I basically walked in and negotiated something a little different. But nobody knows how to do that. Nobody knows to do that. Nobody even thinks to do that. I did it because, well, I'm not dumb. And, you know, I basically want to make sure I have some sort of income, like not just basically give away my time, but, you know, get something for it. So, you know, that's what I decided to do. But, you know, 120 doors, roughly, I did. And I'm like, damn, that's insane. And these people that, you know, I'm told, oh, yeah, they're making thousands of dollars per week. I'm like, if the stars aligned and everything was perfect and you happen to hit the right people, I can see it. But it's like the exception, not the rule. It's the exception, not the rule. And if you do manage to pull it off, great. But again, please see previous statement of it is the exception, not the rule. Because the rule would dictate that you're not getting a sales because people don't like to be bothered at their front door. Realistically, they don't. They don't like to be bothered at their front door. Some of the longest days I've had is recently, to the point of wanting to snap at some of the individuals that put me in the situation. But anyways, they wouldn't last a fraction of the time I have. But then again, I'm stubborn, you know, and I have motivation, which is family. So anyways, all that aside, yeah, it's oof, I'll tell you, it's no cakewalk, but I admire these people that want to start a new life and want to start a new opportunity and are basically putting in the time in order to do so. My hats are off to all the new immigrants coming from other countries that just want a better life and the dedication they have to doing it. I applaud you. I think that is absolutely amazing. It is absolutely fantastic. I back you 110% because, yeah, that's not an easy gig. Not an easy gig at all. And the fact that you've hunkered down and decided to make the commitment to it, that's even more impressive. It really is. It really is. My hats are off to you. Everybody that's actually come to actually make a life versus being given handouts, I applaud you. Yes, I am very frustrated about the people that come to my country and exploit it and live off the system and don't do an honest day's work and, you know, steal and break the law and commit crime and basically are just wrong for the culture, wrong for our country. Uh, those people should be bans, should be shipped out, should not be allowed in. Like these, no, that element, stay the hell out. But I'll welcome and don't blanket everybody and putting them in the same freaking category because they come from, same countries and stuff like that. These troublemakers. Every culture has a troublemaker. Every culture. And I'm not talking about immigrants here. I'm talking about, Canadians, U.S. and Europeans. We all got our problem makers. We all got our troublemakers. We do. It doesn't mean because you're from another country that you're automatically a troublemaker. It's just we turn a blind eye to what we consider familiars, but there's still troublemakers within that mix as well. So don't start thinking, oh well, he, he or she's this, he or she's that. That they can't do that kind of stuff. No, 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 no. We all have troublemakers. We do. So yeah, I admit I was very disappointed in some people that you know that already had a bias against people when they opened the door because they were a certain color or spoke a different way. That pissed me off. Made me really, really ashamed to be part of, a certain demographic of the Caucasian uh, variety. It really disappointed me that these people reacted in such a way without even giving an opportunity. That really pissed me off. Like I was just like, wow, you're just a shame to your people. You are an embarrassment to your culture, to your people, to your nationality. You are crap. And I'll tell you, I speak as an authority, and I'd like to see you challenge me on this one. I speak as an authority. I am Anglo-Saxon, my friend. I am whiter than white bread. Okay, so you want to question my validity on this one? Fuck you. I would like to see you do that. All right, because if there's a poster child for freaking the Caucasian, that's freaking me. Okay, so think about that one for 1 second. Um, you really have to really think about how people treat other people. It's just not right. You can't do that to people. Like a little bit of decency, eh? A little bit of decency would be good. Jesus, like, I don't understand people. I really don't. How do you treat people like that? How do you treat people so badly? Like it just doesn't make sense. Give them an opportunity. You might like what they have to say. You might be interested in what they have to say. You know, as I said, I've heard some amazing stories from these people. I've heard some amazing experiences from these people. And if they don't inspire you, then you're obviously not listening. I don't know. I just find it's very amazing. So do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Give an opportunity because they're not all bad people. Just like in our culture, there's not all bad people. One out of every 100 people is a psychopath. So don't judge a person by their customs or the color of skin, the way they speak. Do yourself a favor. Listen, listen, listen to what they have to say. You might be really inspired. I know I was, and I am. I really am. You know, but you cross me and violate me and everything else, and you do anything along those lines. Well, I'll freaking skin you alive. But I do that for anybody. I don't care if you're friggin' white Jack shellac. I mean, it really doesn't make a difference to me. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. And there's a lot of good people out there. So, don't put them all in the same basket. Give them an opportunity to show you that they're just trying to be honest members of society and actually trying to build a life. You know. Now, don't get me wrong. Authoritative bodies like to pair, one side against the other and try to make life difficult for everybody and try to, cause some sort of challenging mechanism and all that stuff like that. And that's not right. Don't start breeding hatred. That's just wrong. You know, breed inclusion. Don't breed hatred. You know, try to help everybody get along. Help the bigger problem not be a problem anymore. Unfortunately, you know, governing bodies don't necessarily like to do that. They like everybody to be at odds with each other because it gives them the the mechanisms to be able to meet their objectives. Anyways, it doesn't really phase me um, at all, but I'll have to say, I don't know. I'm awe-inspired. I know I can't do this. Like this recent gig that I got into, there's no way I'm doing door knocking. Or statistically, the results, the outcome, does not justify the means. Does not justify doing the level of work that's being done and the results that are coming out of it. Uh, that just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't justify doing this job at this capacity for this many long hours, for this level of strife, for this level of all that. And more power to these newcomers if they want to hunker down and do this. And yes, there's some decent paychecks to be made out of it. If, as I said, the stars align and your lottery numbers come up, you're laughing. You really are, because there's money to be made. But out of all that money that be made in those lottery wins, how many are the lean weeks? How many are the lean days or months where you're not making anything? You can't tell me that consistently there's a lottery win. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You might have short-term glory, but you know what? If these people do well, and I say these people because I mean I don't know how else to put them, so don't take offense to it. If these newcomers to Canada work this job and they make it good and they make good money, then fuck, by all means, my hat's off to you, because I know in my short experience of trying to do this, there's no way in hell that I'm going to be able to do this long term, because I just don't have that kind of stamina to wait out the storm. It doesn't seem practical to me. I'd rather get something for something than nothing for something. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my viewpoint. I guess that's just the way I was raised. It's the way I'm culturally sound and put together and everything else. You know, it's one of those things. Anyways, I just wanted to share this. It was an interesting experience. I think I've made some decisions. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just make some decisions. That crunch time is well beyond crunch. Crunch time is mission critical time. I need to do something, even if it requires the lowest common denominator bullshit. I mean, I just got to do something regardless. So I think I've made a decision in which direction I'm going to go into. As much as it's not practical, um, it is practical in some sense that I just need to do something. And I know it's not long term, but hey, you know what? Uh, I don't think it'll ever cross this path, but you know what? Hillary, if you ever do listen to my friend, much respect if you decide to go down this route, and much respect for what you want to do and your goals. Hopefully, that voiceover job actually does pay off and you actually get that opportunity. Um, but everybody else, hey, you know what? Embrace a newcomer, right? Even if you're familiar with them or not familiar with them, embrace them, because there's a majority of them that are just trying to build a better life, and give them the opportunity. Don't give them the obstacles. You know, that's all I'm saying. Give them the opportunity to show that, hey, you know what? I have something to contribute, and I'm willing to work hard. I don't know. It's been quite the pleasure. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to have a quick little burp on that one. I think I'm going to be, you know, doing some dead, dumb, brain dead general tasks in the near future for making a paycheck, because I know for a fact that door knocking and bugging people at their homes is just not something that I think moralistically, I don't think I can do that in good consciousness. Is regardless of the fact that it's completely on the up and up, I just don't think I have what's in. Like, I guess it comes down to, could you do a job that you would not want to be on the receiving end of, right? That's what it comes down to. And no, I really would not want somebody doing what I'm doing in reverse, coming to my front door and trying to sell me on stuff. I couldn't do that. That's just something I couldn't do. It would just, on the reverse. Anyways, I don't want to get done. That's an off the topic on that one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Love you for it. Appreciate you. It's been another episode of Car Musings. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. I'm going to sign off for now. I hope everything's well in your part of the world, and I hope you're doing whatever you need to do, and you're doing it with integrity. Be the best you can be. Domino effect, folks. We can change this world for the better, but we all got to work together. All right. I will see you next episode. Take care till then.